All right, so I have a few things that I need to update my pen friends on, and I created a little list to keep me on track. A lot of you have been wanting some Jinhao updates on how they are still performing, if I still like them, hard starts, pros, cons. So I will have that here for you. And then, I also have some new additions, including my updated little Jinhao collection. So we will go through that. Also, how to ink your Jinhao fountain pens, but I think it really falls under most fountain pens. So I will do a little demonstration and show you how easy it is. And then I will also discuss my Hongdian update. This I did a video on, and a lot of you wanted to know updates, so that we will be discussing. Also, let me see. Okay, I have a new Hongdian pen that I need to share with you, along with a really good ink pairing that I'm enjoying, especially with my Hobonichi paper, and new inks that I absolutely love. A few that I'm not crazy about, and what I'm currently using and I currently have inked up in my pens. So we will be discussing that. Also, stay tuned towards the end if you are thirsty and you need some tea, okay? Because we are going to be having a little tea time. I'm going to be giving you my thoughts and doing a little mini rant on a couple, and by a couple, I literally mean like two or three comments I've seen. Referring to the cheap crap that I have been sharing here on my channel. So we will be going over that and my thoughts on that. So let's go ahead and begin with my Jinhao 10 updates. Let me put this, where should I put this? I'll put this here onto the side so I stay on course. My Jinhao 10s. Okay, so for those that have been following my journey, it all started long ago. Okay, not really, but it all started with a holiday gift exchange with the Pilot Kakuno. And then I love the way that Pilot wrote, because I haven't had a Pilot fountain pen since the Pilot Metropolitan, to be honest, and that did not sell me. I was not sold on that. I did not connect with it, but that Pilot Kakuno, oh man, love it. I fell in love with it. And then a lot of you wanted me to try the Pilot Pereira because it's cute, it's compact, it's pocket size. And when I ordered it, I don't even want to say it was Amazon's fault. I think whoever the seller was, the third party, they mislabeled it, and this was in the Pereira packaging. I still have that video up if you want to see it. But yeah, I came across this beautiful Pilot Vanishing Point or Pilot capless. It's not the real gold, so before some of you guys freak out and think like, oh my gosh, you are so lucky. I am lucky, but this is not the real gold. It's the special, I think like the alloy nib. I mean, it still writes nice, and it's a fine nib. So I love this so much, but because I recognize the price point value of this, the retail value, I was very scared to carry this around. A lot of you encouraged me to just use it, and while yes, it was comforting to know that you guys were supporting me, I know myself very well, and if things cost too much, I'm intimidated to use it to the fullest ability because I tend to be precious with it, and I just fell in love with this pen. I just love the click mechanism, especially coming from the ballpoint in gel, click pen world. I knew this was so convenient. And also, let me show you a little pro here. It conveniently fit in my mini planner. My Hobonichi Weeks, it has this clear cover, and I mean, I've shown clips where it slipped inside of here. And then you guys recommended the Jinhao 10s. Okay, so that's where we're at, the Jinhao 10s. This is my completed collection, and I say completed because I really don't plan on, actually let me put this to the side. I really don't plan on accumulating more Jinhaos anytime soon, but I mean, you never know, right? So let's take a look. Beautiful, beautiful, right here. This is my Jinhao collection. After the Pilot, this was my first Jinhao 10. It was the black matte, the all sleek blackout look. All the nibs are going to have the silver tip here. very sleek. And then you guys know I had this accident where it actually like fell into my lap and then somehow like bounced onto my carpet and the nib broke, which I don't understand how it broke so easily because these nibs are pretty sturdy. And then I got a, so as I was waiting for my replacement, this is the one I ordered, but it was taking a long time. It was this one with the little ridges. I like this, all black. Again, nice details. Oh, if you want to know, another thing too, if you want to be able to distinguish whether it's like a Pilot or a Jinhao, you could tell right here by this ribbing. In the middle, the Pilot, their capless here, where it opens and closes, this part, it's kind of like it pops out. And then with the Jinhaos, their ribbing, or like in the middle, it's flat. So that's how you can tell. So if you ever see these like on my desk or in my videos and you're wondering, is that a Pilot or is that a Jinhao? I mean, 90% chance it's probably Jinhao, but if you do see this, and because they make this, I think in the same color, the yellow, you could tell right here by the middle section. And then also like the Pilot, it kind of goes, it makes a little dent in here and there's no branding. And then the Jinhao, it's pretty straight, and then they do have their embossed like branding right there. All right, so I got this one, beautiful. But then a lot of you encouraged me to get the Meijan. So I got this one. It's like, it reminds you of a nice little disco ball. It did not appear that way on the photo, but I was still pleasantly surprised when I got this, and it's beautiful. This is actually a thinner body than the, you could see, I think a lot of you guys said this is similar to like the Decimo, the Pilot Decimo, because it is thinner, but it still feels very comfortable in my hands. And this is an extra fine. You guys, I have never had this dry out on me, but again, I think it's because of the ink. I've always had this ink with not Writer's Blood, with Heart of Darkness by Noodlers, because I mean, I need to get rid of that black ink, and I've had it for like over 5 years. I need to use it up, and that was, you know, what I had. So I used it, and it's beautiful. I've never, it still writes. I had this, how many months has it been? Like a couple months now. From the very first unboxing, it's the same ink. Like, it's never dried out on me, which we're going to discuss and talk about in a minute. All right. Then after that, I loved this little ribbing so much. Okay. You guys wanted a look at my collection, so here it is. I love the ribbing. And this is, actually, let me just move this out of the way. Then I got the gold one. I love gold. It's really hard to come across gold anything, especially like gold accents. Everything's silver. And this looks a lot more premium in person than it does like on the pictures. It's stunning. It's beautiful. And I just, yeah, I was using this. And I then, funny thing is, when I ordered this, I ordered the caramel orange at the same time. I want to keep calling it my Jinhao coffee. It's not technically called coffee. It's their caramel orange, but I call it coffee because in person it's beautiful. It reminds me of like a cappuccino, a latte, a coffee crema, cafe crema, all those descriptions. And oh my gosh, this was a stunner. So I ordered these at the same time, but this was a little bit, it took a while. And I think this is their newest release. You guys have said this is very similar to the Pilot Whiskey, but the Pilot Whiskey actually is a lot darker if you compare them. And I like this Jinhao 10 because it's lighter. I like this warm brown versus, this is like, yeah, a warm brown. And then the Pilot Whiskey looks like a cooler brown, if you will. So, oh, excuse my little puppy dog. She probably sees some birds outside. So yeah, I have been using this, loving it. I have had this inked with, Coffee Break, and then I had it with Cafe Crema, which wrote very, very well. But now that we're moving into spring and summer, I have cleaned it out and I'm putting it to rest until the fall. And I think what I want to do is use, oh my gosh, this beautiful blush. This is like a champagne pearl blush pink color. The gold is actually rose gold, and it is beautiful. Again, you know, all the nibs are the silver But wouldn't that be nice if it was rose gold as well? And this is beautiful. I'm just trying to find like the right ink to use this with, but I think like this pink blush would look really good with this pistachio green. Yeah, so I have acquired this. Oh my gosh, I love it, love it, love it. And then I was also waiting for, this one took a while too because I got this on AliExpress. They were sold out on Amazon. Wow, I did not expect to love this gradient gray as much as I do. Oh, I was in this for like the last week, and the ink that I have it is, let me see if I can show you. It is Wizard's Pencil, which I'm going to show you all of my new favorite inks right now. So let me show you. Okay, so that's the only thing. You see how it's not starting? What I do, I'll lick my finger and then I'll put the nib on here to like get it wet and activate it. But here's the thing, okay? It's like a nice gray. This has nothing to do with the Jinhao. I think it's the brand of ink. It's the Alchemy brand. And again, we'll get to that in a minute. Because these are fine, I think I don't want to say it clogs the Jinhao feed, but I noticed that it does dry up or maybe clog the feed, because I haven't had any problems with my other Jinhaos. Like I can use this one. I haven't used this in a couple of days because I've been using actually this purple one. But I bet you, let me see if it writes. Yeah, this one writes up right away. But again, I think it goes with the brand of ink that you have. I have this inked with the Hongdian black ink, which is great. And as you saw, my Heart of Darkness, it's a wetter ink, so I don't get any hard starts. It just writes right away. I think even my gold one, I think I have the Hongdian still in here. Let me see. Oh yeah, see, it writes immediately. So it really depends on the brand. So I'm realizing that this Alchemy brand, I don't think it does well with capless or vanishing point style. And I know that because it actually works fine with my Pilot. Hold on, I'll show you. My Pilot Kakuno. I put the Wizard's Pencil, the gray color, in here, and it has never dried up. The nib hasn't given me any problems, but I think it's because it's sealed. It's sealed with this cap. And yes, that is a Kaweco clip. So thank you to the few that gave me that little hack. You can use your Kaweco clip on there. So here you can see, yeah, the Wizard's Pencil, it's like a dark gray. Hence the name. It looks like a pencil, like pencil lead, which is beautiful. And this nib is actually medium. It's in the Pilot medium nib. So I haven't had any hard starts with this. So I always say, you know, just because your pen may not write well one day, try another day, but with a different brand of ink. And I've learned that through experience. All right. So we have a few more to get through, and then let me show you some inks. Oh my gosh, this one is a stunner. Ta-da! You guys, I'm not a silver, like, okay, I do like silver, but you know, I lean and I gravitate more towards gold. But you guys, this silver, it's like a wavy, wow, it's beautiful. It is stunning. It is, oh my gosh, it's like this beautiful chrome. Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm just so glad I had this in my collection. It took a while to get here, but when I saw it, oh, I love it. Now, the last Jinhao that I have is the same like design, the waves. These little waves in here kind of remind me of like fishbone patterns, but it's black. It's a matte black with the chrome silver. And I got this because this really reminded me of the pens that my father would use. He served in the military, and we had so many of, for those that know, I think you know, like you may know that the military, they use those specific ballpoint pens, the Skillcraft branded ballpoint pens. If you Google like Skillcraft military pens, you'll see it. They have like this chrome in the middle and then it's like black. It's skinnier. But when I saw this, oh my gosh, it reminded me of those pens that my dad would use to like sign my permission slips or sign checks or do paperwork with. And we had a bunch of these laying around the home here. So when I saw this, it reminded me of that. They do have the piano. The Jinhao has the piano black, which is like black with chrome, but I like because this is more matte. So that is actually my updated, all of these are my updated Jinhao pens that I keep in this nice pen case. It keeps it protected. And yeah, I'll link this below. It's from Amazon. So it's nice because I have these actually in 3 different colors. This one's actually empty because again, these were like, I think like $9, and it protects it here with this little, you know, fabric, this felt like type of material, and you can see it protects it from the other side, and it does a pretty good job. So all of my Jinhaos sleep and are housed in this little container or in this little case. Okay, so I know at a glance, for those that are not pen, you know, fountain pen enthusiasts, it may look a little crazy, right? That I have all these pens and you're like, oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I guess I did go a little crazy. However, I will say all of these, okay, let's take a closer look at how beautiful they look. All of these amount to one of these retail price. The retail price of these 9 Jinhao 10s amount to 1 retail Pilot vanishing point. No, you know what? It doesn't even amount to. If I got these all on AliExpress, which I haven't because I'm very impatient and I like, you know, the 2-day shipping. If you go on AliExpress, yeah, you pay less, but you're waiting like 2 to 3 weeks sometimes. But if you wanted to, I did the math. If I went on AliExpress and I really had the time to do my research, you can actually find these for $10. You can find sellers that are selling these for $10, and that is still right here, $100 max retail. Now, Amazon, that is, you're just paying double because people buy them on AliExpress and then, you know, they flip them on Amazon to make a profit. And I still think that these are still worth the $20 in my, you know, humble opinion. Very sturdy, very durable. And to answer the question, yes, I am still loving these Jinhaos. I am still using these Jinhaos. Oh, and the Meijin. The Meijin, these are a little bit more. So they're not exactly, you know, your $10 to $20. I think they are going for maybe like $25 or $30, but you know, they come with more of a premium box. They come with a couple like extra things, like a little extra converter. You can see my unboxing if you're interested, but I still recommend it. Again, all these good, solid, quality pens that work well for one option here. Okay. I will say though, with Pilot, it is very consistent. I haven't tried it with my Wizard or with my Alchemy pen, but I can always, like, I haven't used this in probably a couple of days because again, I'm still enjoying my Jinhaos, but I can pick up my Pilot and, you know, it never dries out. This, I have it currently inked with, well, I'll show you in a little bit, but very consistent. I think people know what they're getting when they get Pilot, but I just wanted to share some budget alternatives. And, you know, I haven't had any problems with these Jinhaos, no hard starts or anything like that, except for that 1 or 2 with the Alchemy brand. Oh, I did have this, maybe I'll insert a clip. Maybe it's not necessary, but I did have this inked with the Alchemy brand. They had a molten bronze, okay? And I will show you in my ink log. Actually, I'll just show you right now. I noticed that it did kind of crust up on the nib. Which I thought was very, very surprising. Like, I've never had that happen with any of my nibs. Yeah, I think maybe just this ink is super like pigmented. So I don't know. But let me show you how it looks. And I'll show you how easy it is to ink these up. Where is it? I had the, oh wait, did I even do it on here? Oh yeah, okay. So here's my molten bronze. So I had that. Oh, and here's Wizard's pencil. It's a beautiful, like dark gray. Now let me show you how easy it is to ink these up. This one I have not inked. When you get it, it comes with, you know, this little converter. You take it out, you know, you unscrew it, and it looks like this. Okay, so what you do is you'll put the ink in, and then you'll kind of just like snap this. We're gonna use my Hongdian ink. I like this. Oh yeah, I like this ink, by the way. Spoiler. Yeah, it's great for the value. $9 on Amazon. I've been writing with it for the last couple of weeks, and I recommend it. It's a nice solid bold black, which I like, and I think it's a great substitute or replacement for my Heart of Darkness, because that ink bleeds through almost everything. So I definitely can't use Heart of Darkness at work or on basic, you know, copy paper, but this Hongdian, when I use it with like a fine nib, it's pretty good. So you can, okay, let's see here. Just get your bottle of choice, and what you're gonna do, basically you just make sure you take this part out, okay? Don't dip, you don't wanna dip this in. You take it out, and this part you wanna make sure you twist it so it's down. Hold on, let me show you. Okay, you see the little twist part? You wanna make sure it's down, okay? So I'll show you here. So it's up right now, but we're gonna twist it down, push that air out, and then we're going to twist it back up. Dab it, and then, oh, of course I have ink on my fingers now. And then you can just line up the notch like that, and you just twist it closed, and it should write right away for you. Let's go ahead and get our notebook here, and I mean, of course it's gonna write because the whole nib was like dipped in it, but just to show you that's how it looks. Now, if an off chance you are having a hard time, you know, getting the ink to come out, I shared this in my other video, which I learned from one of you viewers. Thank you for the hack. You recommended like pressing, doing like down, like firm strokes a couple of times, and maybe it's like the tines in here that are too close together, so that's something to consider. Or of course, like cleaning it out or running it under like warm water could work, but that should get you going. All right, so that is my update on the Jinhaos. Love them. I still rave about them, and we're gonna talk towards the end about my thoughts about promoting cheap quote unquote crap. But before we get to that, okay, let's see what's next on my list. So Jinhao 10 updates, current Jinhao collection. Okay, I did how to ink, and then we need, oh, okay, yeah. So the Hongdian N12 update. Let me get these out of the way, or I guess you could stare at them because they are nice eye candy. The Hongdian. I love this baby. This is my first Hongdian pen, and I came across this on Amazon just scrolling because the algorithm is getting smart, and it knew that the moment I saw this purple, I was like, what is that pen? And when I clicked on it, I noticed it was, you know, a Hongdian brand. So I thought, let me try it. It's, you know, again, for me, the price point is pretty budget friendly. I think this was like around like maybe $20 or $22. I don't really bother with AliExpress because, you know, I want my pens like in the next couple of days. And I realized I like a thicker grip point or grip section. Look at this nib. This nib is beautiful. It's gold. I mean, I love the gold trimming. the purple, what's it, acrylic? And then the details, it has like a little birdie here. You guys, this pen looks expensive. Okay, everyone that I've shown it to, they think it's a really expensive pen, and when I say expensive, I think they just think that it's more than a $20 pen here, and it writes very well, very smooth. It makes writing so comfortable, and I have it inked with the Hongdian. The only con that I would say is that it's a piston filler, so you have to twist it, and I don't know if you can see by the lighting. You can't see because the tube is like right there. It's hard to tell, but you can't see like if you're low on ink, and yeah, it's not like you can disassemble it like the Jinhao 10. But if you're familiar with like a TWSBI, it's pretty much the same concept where you twist and then it sucks up the ink. The only difference is that it doesn't have that clear body where you can see how much ink you have left, like this. I need to clean out this cafe crema. Long overdue. But I love this pen. Oops, I keep doing that with my camera. It's a smooth writer. And I find this like girth here to be very, very comfortable for long writing sessions. So just to show you, this is is this a fine? Let me think. Let me look on the nib. I think, yeah. But again, like these, with the Chinese brands, they'll say like fine, but it kind of writes maybe like a heavy fine. I'd say like maybe a fine medium. But if you're using maybe Sailor ink, it could come out like a fine. So, it could drier ink. This, and I think it also depends on paper too. On this Midori paper with this Hongdian ink, to me, this writes kind of like a point. What would you say? This reminds me of like a point 0.3, like a 0.3 gel pen or ballpoint pen. Whereas fine is classified as like what, like 0.3. Yeah, this is more 0.5. Sorry, 0.5. Yeah. So updates on this. I'm still loving it. I've never had it dry up. I've never had hard starts, no skipping, and I love it. I use it for like all of my long form like journaling sessions, and I even used it for a couple of like my bubble letters here. Why? Because again, I'm not intimidated by the nib. It's very budget friendly. Let me show you an example where I did, okay, like right here. I'm not done with this spread, but right here I use this to color in these bold letters, and I find it like very therapeutic. Oh, speaking of this notebook though, let me show you. Well, okay, I'll get to that in a minute. Hold on. So much to catch you guys up on. It's been a minute. But let me go in order. So now that we got the Hongdian, okay. So next we have a new Hongdian in my collection. And before someone comes at me saying that I'm contributing to overconsumption, I mean, I'm not forcing you to buy anything. I'm just sharing my enthusiasm and my excitement for all these fun finds that I come across, because I want to share with the community that there are other budget options that you can use and have access to be a part of this wonderful community. I mean, the fountain pen community, I love it. It's one of like my favorites. Everyone is so helpful. Everyone is so engaging. Everyone, there's so many like people from different parts of the world, different walks of life, different ages, and everyone has their own experience, their own preferences. So it's just, I just love this community so much. I've learned so much from these fountain pen enthusiasts, and I would hate for someone to feel like they do not belong or that they cannot participate because they are not one of the cool kids. Okay, they don't have the sailor pen or the fancy schmancy Visconti. Is it called Visconti? I don't know. See, I'm just going off of what I hear from other people saying like Visconti or Leonardo, because I felt like that I don't want to go too much on a tangent right now. I'll get to it towards the end, but that's the whole reason why I started this Seaweed Kisses YouTube channel was because I had no one in my real life to share my excitement for cool finds that I came across, cool stationery finds. And maybe you can relate. I have no one in my real, day-to-day life, person-to-person contact that I could geek out and be like, oh my gosh, hey girl, look at this new pen. They're gonna be like, okay, you're still using a pen? How about a stylus, right? Like, I don't have anyone in my real life that is going to share this excitement over a unicorn moleskin paper or this beautiful new, Wizards ink that I love. They don't care. They don't care about that. But I know this community, you guys do. So it's not that I'm contributing or I'm intentionally contributing to overconsumption. It's just that I find really good quality, productive stationery goods that I will be using. And instead of addressing each individual comment, asking, what is that you're using? What are your thoughts on it? I can just do a video response and show you, yeah, this is what I bought. This is what I'm using. This is what I like. And this is why I like it. So I'm not forcing anyone to buy it. I'm not out here slinging affiliate codes. I'm not partnered with any brand or with any shop. These are just my real, raw, genuine impressions and thoughts. So okay, back to the Hongdian. I just had to squeeze that in there real quick. Back to this is my newest pen. It's the C1. You guys, this pen is so cute. And while these bright colors may not, click with everyone, the reason why I like it is because it kind of has like a retro feel to it. What do you think? They have like, I think 5 other colors: blue, red, green, yellow, and I think they had white. But this yellow, it just made me like smile. It reminds me of Woodstock. You guys know I love my Peanuts gang, so it reminded me of like Woodstock, or maybe like Tweety Bird, or flowers, like poppy flowers, buttercup, marigold. So this nib, I think for those that have fine handwriting, I think you would really, really enjoy this. This is actually a fine, but I have an extra fine I'm going to show you. Look, it's like a little needle. It's so tiny. It's so tiny. And okay, let me show you here. Now, while this is a fine, I do have it inked with this. Yeah, so I've been pretty much inking every pen with this, the Hongdian black, which again, I really recommend. You get so much for the price point. But let me show you how this fine nib writes. Even though it's a fine, again, it's dependent on the brand. It comes out, okay, on this Midori, it's not, hold on. It doesn't glide on as wet. Let me show you on maybe this Stalogy paper. And let me have it. Oh, you can post this pen too if you wanted, but it does add a little bit of weight to it. And just like this the N12, you can post this, but I feel like it feels like it's gonna topple over, but I like it just as is. So the length of these pens are, for my hands, they're perfect, they're ideal, and they still make it very make it comfortable. It makes me excited to write more. Okay, so so you can see, even though again it's a fine nib, it's very wet. So you could see, very bold. Hello. How are you? Again, it'll depend on what you ink it with, but I find with this Hongdian ink, it's a great pairing. Now, I liked this so much, surprisingly, that I got the extra fine, which I'm not normally an extra fine person. I prefer like fine or medium, but because I really liked this needlepoint, I was curious to know what it would, here we go, how it would write in my Hobonichi weeks. And I like it. So let me grab it real quick. All right, so here's the Hobonichi weeks, and using just a random spots here, you can see how small these grids are. I think these are like the 3mm. They're very tiny, very tight. For someone that has like bolder, kind of sloppier, bigger handwriting, it's a challenge to find the right pen to write with, but I really enjoy this. Again, this is in the Hongdian black. And you can see I can really control my handwriting with this super fine nib. The thing is, it doesn't feel scratchy either. Like the feedback, I like it. Like it's very enjoyable, surprisingly, for someone that typically doesn't write with extra fine. Now this is the fine, just to show you a comparison. Same brand of ink. All right, so maybe, hopefully you can see the difference here. All right, so I think we got that out of the way, the Hongdian, and then, yeah, so I recommend that. This was $9. Again, a great budget alternative. And what's nice about fountain pens is that you can change out the ink. So if you have been wanting to use maybe a whimsical shimmer ink, you know, you can use that. If you wanted to use, you know, a mossy green, you can do that as well. That's the beauty behind using fountain pens, is that you can still enjoy the body shape. You know, if you find that the grip is comfortable, the length is comfortable, the weight is comfortable, but you can change out the inks. And that's why I love, you know, the whole hobby or the art form of using the fountain pens. So this is a great budget option. Okay, great budget option. Would I say it's cheap? Again, cheap is very like subjective, you know. To you or to maybe a fountain pen enthusiast, yeah, $9 could be cheap. To someone else, that is not as cheap, because we are in a digital age. A lot of people don't use writing tools anymore. They have no need to. So to them, cheap is really like a 50-cent big ballpoint. That was me. 5 years ago, cheap was this, okay? Like $2 at most, or I should say like $4 at most. Okay, these to me are like cheap. And when I say cheap, I'm referring to like budget friendly, okay? Not quality. I'm saying like these are very budget friendly options. So $9, $10, that may not be quote unquote cheap to someone, because to them, they're like, well, I can get like 3 pens for the price of 1, or even 4 or 5. I can get like a whole like 10 pack of Bics, big ballpoints for that. You know, $27, maybe stretching it. Certainly, we know with where's my Twisbies, $50 to $80 is outrageous. That was me 5 years ago. I thought $20 was a little risky with the Pilot Metropolitan. I come from, you know, the ballpoint world. I was still doing my research. Is a ballpoint or the Lamy Safari? Lamy Safari, $30. I was like, is this worth my $30 for one pen, right? But then when you quickly get in the rabbit hole, what's $30? Then you kind of get not desensitized, but then you realize, wow, that's nothing. That's like entry level. That's beginner level. When the average good quality fountain pen is going to run you, I would say $35 to $50. Okay, not this one. I'm the Eco. This is the Diamond 580. This is $80. I think when I got it at the time, did I even pay? I think maybe I paid like $65 or $70, but still, I would have not purchased this on my own had it not been for a pen friend's strong recommendation. They already own this. They had it. They said I was going to love it. And this is, you know, I always call her my first love. She's the one that threw me down the rabbit hole, and I understood the hype for this wonderful hobby. Okay. So, sometimes cheap can be good because it gets you in. It gets you in. It gets your foot in the door. It gets you in getting familiar with how to fill a fountain pen, how to use it, how to grip it, what you like and what you don't like about it. I mean, that's what's nice about using different brands and experimenting with different nib sizes. You actually get to learn what your preferences are. If you're just sticking to one, like one pen, you may not be able to explore because you blew your whole budget on a $200 pen and you're like, oh, I got to use this up. But maybe you don't like this clip part, maybe it gets in the way. So I find that these budget-friendly pens are a great gateway into finding what you really, really like or what you don't like. And I'll just go off script here a little bit because inks I love. Okay, yeah. The Hongdian N12. I did not think, because I have smaller hands, I just assumed, oh, with my small hands, I prefer maybe like a smaller, thinner pen. But when I got this, I realized I don't mind. I don't mind like a bigger nib. I don't mind a thicker, barrel. And I'll show you a comparison here with my TWSBI. I am so used to TWSBIs. I thought this was it. Like, I thought I was going to be content with this for the rest of my pen life. But as you can look at the barrel, it's smaller. Definitely smaller. And I reach for this way more. I need to clean her out because I don't even use my TWSBIs anymore. That just goes to show I love this. I love this so much that I think I have a green one that's sitting in my cart. I wish these came in more colors, but that just goes to show and to say, I would have never thought I preferred a larger barrel had I not came across this cheap pen. Okay, so next, new inks that I'm loving and that I don't love. Okay, let's get to that. New inks that I'm loving. Let me just kind of push these aside here. Do we need all these Jinhaos? Maybe. I kind of like looking at them. We'll keep them there. Oh, okay. Hold on. Speaking of Jinhao, I do have this one. This is the X70. Again, another great budget alternative. This, the barrel is, slightly smaller than the Hongdian. However, I still find it very comfortable to write in. I like the hefty weight of this body. It's an awkward posting. I wouldn't recommend it, but it almost reminds me of the Pilot Metropolitan without the awkward, like, I gotta compare them, but for some reason I distinctly remember like 5 years ago, I did not like how the Metropolitan had like a sharp threading, like between the grip and the threading. I think it dug into my hand and it was pretty sharp. So maybe I had a one-off. I'm not sure, but this is a very sleek black. And if you look closely, I don't know if my lighting, it's kind of overcast today. Can you see there? You see that? A little bit of sparkle. It's just enough to catch your eye, but not too much where it looks like, ooh, bling bling in your face. It's subtle. It's a very subtle bling, and I like this. I've been art journaling with this as well in my journals with the Hongdian ink. It's beautiful. Let me show you real quick. I mean, in all of these budget finds, you guys, I still have all of these pens for like under $30. Oh, wait. I think there's like 22, okay, 30, 40, okay, like $45 for these 4 pens. And again, that's Amazon price. I'm sure if I went on AliExpress, it'd be half. It'd be like $20 because I'm paying double through the retailers via Amazon. But let me show you on here real quick. I know I had so much to catch you guys up on. I didn't want it to make like video after video after video, so I just kind of saved all of my thoughts and impressions for this one catch up and get together. So here, this is in there. This is actually, I think it's a medium nib. Yeah, it's in a medium nib. But again, on this Midori paper, you may not be able to tell. So it definitely writes like a 0.7. And this is the Hongdian Black, which I am recommending because it doesn't clog any of my feeds. It still comes out bold and it hasn't skipped or clogged, you know, any of the pens I've been using. And then before I forget, I do have like this Pilot, it's like a dip nib, and it's really nice because if you don't want to ink up an actual fountain pen, you can, you know, get your little like samples here. This is a fine nib, by the way. And then you can just like dip it in. And then, oops, okay. Hello, okay, just pretend I'm writing. You can still like write and see how it will look in this nib size. Again, this is a fine, but you'll have to keep like redipping it every so couple of words. But this is a nice way to see what type of brands of inks that you like, or how it's going to come out on a particular brand of paper. It could look one way on Midori paper. It could look one way on Cosmo or Tomoe River paper. So this is I'm so glad I have this. New inks that I've been loving. Alchemy. Okay, the Alchemy brand. What's really nice is that this comes with a little cork stand or holder, and you can, because it has like this little swivel, you can put it on here and lay it flat, or without the swivel, it kind of like swivels around. It's like a potion bottle. I like it. So I have been liking that. Wizard's pencil is definitely like my favorite gray at this moment. And I'm realizing through, you know, experimenting that I won't use that brand particularly with fine nibs. It has to be like medium and up. Let's take a look at my ink log. Has anything changed besides the Alchemy brand? I think I've kind of slowed my roll since then. Yeah, because I've really just been enjoying using them. So the Alchemy brand has the Wizard's pencil, Molten Bronze, and then I have this Raven Blue. Smokescreen is by Robert Oster, and it's like a dark purple, which I'm going to show you my cursive book that I have, my handwriting book. It's my new project. Sesame oil. Oh, yep, a favorite. I love this ink. I didn't think I was going to love it as much as I do because I don't know, I thought it was going to come out like really, really light, and I got it more to practice with, like, I was going to do like painting with it, but yeah, I really, really like this, and I'm going to show you what I have it inked with. This is a Hongdian bluish ink and the Hongdian brown. Really nothing to rave about. Their brown is like just a basic brown, and the bluish gray, it's more just like a beautiful, yeah, like dark blue. Let me see. Do I have I'm trying to see if I had a sample, a writing sample of it somewhere. Here it is on my Tomoe River paper. It's actually a nice blue. I'm not a big fan of blue. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just haven't found the right blue throughout the years. However, I will say that I am liking this Lennon Toolbar Night Sky. This is, I would say, one of my top favorite blues that I have come across and that I have used. It's beautiful. It's dreamy, and yeah, I do like this. Because I enjoyed this so much with my Kakuno, let me show you. I had this with this one. Beautiful. I thought, you know what, let me give Lennon Toolbar another try, and picked up sesame oil. I have this inked with, guess what, another Jinhao. Yep, the Jinhao. This is a milk tea. It comes originally with a fine, but I actually purchased the Jinhao nibs that you can switch out. It comes like in a pack of 3, and I switched them out to medium. It's really easy to do. All you do is you make sure you twist, don't pull. But to change the nib, you want to just twist the nib, like twist it like this. And oh, oops, hold on. I always do that. You have to take out the cartridge first. Okay, yeah, take out the cartridge first, and then there we go. And then you can just unscrew and put it into the body of your choice. So that is for the Jinhao 82s. So once I switched it out to the medium, I really enjoyed writing with this in the sesame oil. All right, so let me show you how it looks real quick, because I think, did I show you? Yeah, that was the end of it. Okay. And I think what I did, I think I was swatching all of these in my moleskin, my unicorn moleskin. And by that, I mean the one that surprisingly was fountain pen friendly. I love the way that the raven blue looks on my moleskin blank expanded. Sesame oil. Oh yeah, I have melon tea. It's okay. Nothing to rave about. Oh, this is a Hongdian bluish gray. I like how it looks on this paper here. Like not bright in your face, but it's subtle enough to know that it's not black. Like you know it's a blue. It's in the blue-gray family. Okay, so this sesame oil, I have a sample here. This is a B6 Stalogy, and for 2025, I really want to improve my cursive, my handwriting, and fountain pens make it such an enjoyable experience to just like write and glide and not put any like strain on your hands or your wrist or your arms. And yeah, I've just kind of been having fun with this. So here I have Honeybee by Robert Oster, and I'll just kind of like play around and swatch the color, and then I'll use that little dip nib. That's what I used here for this. And then let me show you. I have the sesame oil in here. Yeah, sesame oil. And it's a beautiful, like, yeah, it looks like sesame oil, like a beautiful, like nutty brown. And surprisingly, it's legible. I thought it was going to be too light, but I have this in the medium nib, and it comes out nice. Again, these Jinhaos, I never have any hard starts or drawing up problems. Yeah, I like it. With the medium nib, I would recommend getting the medium. So sesame oil is definitely a favorite. The Cacao do Brazil, you guys know I've been raving about that ever since I got the sample on truefei.com. I mean, I picked out the sample, but I fell in love with it. And it pairs beautifully with the Jinhao Volcano Gray Body, this one right here. So here's the sesame oil with that. And then this is the Jinhao medium nib. Or no, actually, you know what? This is fine. Surprisingly, for a fine nib, this writes very wet. And it could be because maybe it's J Arbonne. It could be because of the brand, but I like it either way. Actually, I should be doing it on this side, but yeah. So I have that, and this is like a beautiful dusty purple, dusty brown gray purple. I think I'll always have this Jinhao Volcano Gray forever inked with that, with the Cacao do Brazil. So I'm enjoying that ink. Let me just put these inks here. So sesame oil, Cacao do Brazil. I'm loving my Hongdian Black is a favorite. The Alchemy Wizard's Pencil is another favorite. Lennon Toolbar Silent Night for blue. You guys know I'm always raving about Cafe Crema, favorite ink. And then if you like a dark color, but you want a little, like if you like black, but you want it to have like a little hint of something else, maybe you might enjoy Smokescreen, because that's how this Robert Oster comes out. And I wouldn't say like this is a favorite, but I'm happy to have this in my collection. I will probably paint and do some illustrations with this, but you can see it's like a dark, muddy purple. I think Smokescreen is pretty fitting, but it definitely leans more on like a dark berry. And then here's a Wizard's pencil. I really, really like this gray. I really like it. And I'm not really a gray person. I think the only other gray I have is Earl Grey by Diamine, but that kind of leans a little bit more purple. And I had Noodler's Lexington Gray, which to me was just kind of like, yeah, it's just a gray. And then, oh yeah, okay, so that's it. That's all I have so far in the last week. And yeah, so Wizard's pencils in this Kakuno, sesame oil. These all have the Hongdians in here. I have this Diamine Desert Burst. I have this currently inked. And if you want to see a swatch on what that looks like, it is this one right here. I have proper swatch cards now, by the way. I did order those, so I don't have to keep flipping back, but it's also nice because then I can use it as you know, a comparison card. So I have Desert Burst with this the nib is fine in this pilot. Oops. I think if you also enjoy that this Jinhao, this would make a beautiful pairing. The Diamine Desert Burst, or even Tobacco Sunburst. Cafe Crema will look, I mean, I had this inked with Cafe Crema. I just cleaned this out recently, but the Cafe Crema would look beautiful with this. Coffee Break, I had it in Coffee Break, so any one of these are going to work. And let me see. Okay, so new inks. So what was it that I didn't like? Yeah, the Molten, the Alchemy the Molten, only because I feel like it came out just like whatever. It looks like a regular brown to me, and I don't like how it crusted up on my nib. So this I could have done without, but I will still use it. Currently inked. All right, and then new Hongdian. Okay, all right, so let's get to the end, the mini rant. The cheap crap. I think I kind of said that in the middle here, but basically, don't be mistaken, I'm not affected by these negative comments, because I like what I like and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And seeing these negative comments, it's not going to deter me from still using cheap crap. Okay. I even had, to be specific, the lady messaged me and said cheap Chinese crap. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure the iPhone she was messaging me, or her her Apple laptop, maybe she didn't realize that was made in China, but neither here or there. I share these because, let me collect my thoughts. I'm trying to think the best way on how to say this. I share these budget-friendly, okay, options, not to promote consumerism or overconsumption. It's really to share what else is out there in the market. Okay. Yes, I know if you look at this does, to the average person, it may look a little overboard. Like, do you need all these pens? No. Do I need them all inked up? Definitely not. Do I need more than 1 or 2 or 3 bottles of inks? Of course not. But that could be applied to a lot of things in life. Do you need more than 1 pair of shoes to survive? No. You know, do you need more than 5 pairs of underwear? No, right? We all have our hobbies, and we all have our passions that we choose to invest in. It's not that I am trying to push cheap stuff that you don't need, because that's exactly what the lady's message was, is that I'm sharing or I'm promoting. Basically, her message was, and I'm not doing this to, drag the lady. I understand what she was saying, but I want to share with you as an audience. I want you to get a better understanding of why I share this in public on my channel. And she basically, to summarize her message, get ready for the tea, okay? we're gonna have some tea here, tea party, spilling the tea. She basically said that she was disappointed in my content as of late because I have been promoting cheap, Chinese crap, and it was stuff that was not necessary. It's not needed. And, I wrote her back and gave her my response, my thought out response. But in the end, she said that she was like unsubscribing because, she didn't want to see this, which I totally understand. It's totally valid. But I also want to share with you guys, because maybe some of you have thought that, but you just haven't been vocal about it. Maybe some of you have realized, hey, she's really been pushing out a lot of, Jinhao videos, or a lot of, fountain pen videos and unboxings. And it's not that I am trying to push you guys to buy. It's really to show you that there are options out there. Okay, financially, I'm fine, you guys. Like, I'm not financially impacted by these little purchases. I'm not putting these on credit cards. I'm not going into debt. Okay, like, these do not really make a big dip into my pocket. Again, because they're cheap, right? They're cheap. So I want to share with you as an audience that you can still participate in hobbies that you like without spending the money. The whole reason why I shared my YouTube channel to begin with was because, like I said, I had no one in my real life to geek out about stationery and stickers and journalings. And my very, very, very first video, if you look back, it was my Midori flip through, my Midori Traveler's Notebook, which I still have. I had no one in my real life to geek out over that. And I share, let me get my coffee, I'm getting thirsty. I share videos that I want to see. At that time, back in 2013, okay, Midori, also known as Traveler's Company now, it was not popular like to where it's at now. It was very niche, like only people in Japan had it, and only like maybe a handful of retailers here in the United States carried it. I think Brian from Goulet Pens, the very first YouTube video that I came across from someone that wasn't like in Japan was, I think, Brian Goulet, and like maybe one or two guys that showed a quick flip through, but they weren't, proactive in the stationery community per se. They were just showing like, hey, this is the Midori, this is what it looks like, this is what it comes with, this is how you can set it up. So my very first video was to show the community, hey, this is a new brand that you do not have, access to, but this is what it looks like. This is how you can set it up. Okay. So it's not to promote and say you need to buy this. It's more like, hey, I know that you may not have access to touch it, to feel it. So before you purchase it, this is how it looks. These are the details. This is how it sounds. This is the heft to it. And I do that because for me as a conscious consumer, that's what I want to see. I want to see, how does it look in your hands? I want to see, how it feels, or compare it to other sizes. And I've stressed this in my other moleskin where I'm talking about how to find the unicorn paper. And in the title, I said like little rant at the end. This YouTube channel, this is a hobby for me. This is not my day job. I am so lucky and blessed to have my own, career, my own job to pay the bills. This is for fun. This is for fun. It's always been for fun. Thank goodness. There have been times where I, daydreamed like, oh, wouldn't this be great if I was like a full-time influencer? No, it would not, because it would take the passion and the fun out of it. And I do this really just to connect with my other fellow stationery friends and journal lovers. I'm just here to share and extend my enthusiasm for all stationery goods from, all brands, all companies, all makers, all countries. It doesn't matter. I mean, I could tell this viewer, she has not been a long time subscriber. I could tell. Okay. She must have recently found me, because for my long-term subscribers, I don't even know if I have anyone that's been watching me since the beginning, but I am always talking about cheap stuff. Okay. The Walmart pen and gear. This is cheap. $1. Okay. It's like $1.37. I love this. It's actually fountain pen friendly. Same with the, what's it called? This Wexford memo pad from Walgreens. $1.99. Cheap. I love it. Okay. Walmart notebooks. All right. I got a little bit of flack too for like promoting Walmart notebooks. It's not that I'm promoting anyone. I am sharing. Okay. I'm sharing what I use. I genuinely use these products. And I think when people see the numbers, they see that I have X amount of subscribers or X amount of views, because even in the lady's message, she said that she was disappointed due to my large following and my influence that I would promote the cheap stuff. And I'm like, well, the numbers have changed, but my interests have not. Like, I am still interested in good budget finds. Okay. Now, if it's cheaply made and it's being cheaply, like the output is, not good, then of course I'm going to point that out. But if it's very budget friendly and you are still going to get the same experience and outcome, why not? Why wouldn't you want to know about that? And again, the word cheap is very subjective. All right. Yes, I paid $8 for this, but someone out there could be eyeballing me, side-eyeing, and be like, "Ooh, you paid $8 for that? That's expensive." But to me, this is like a Starbucks drink. This is a matcha at my local cafe, right? Like, this is nothing to me. And to others, this pilot, they're like, "Oh, that was $80? Oh, that's nothing. I have like $500 fountain pens," right? So it's very subjective, value and price point. I used to think that $20 was a lot. I used to think the Lame Safari was a lot. I used to think Twisby was a lot. And that was because I came from the Bic and the gel and the ballpoint world. Now this is cheap, okay? You want to make sure you get, by the way, the 1.6 millimeters, okay? If you like the ballpoint. So my channel and my videos are here to share that you don't need to spend a lot to write or to journal or to enjoy this hobby. You can find great budget alternatives. If you want to start journaling, you don't need a Hobonichi. You don't need a Tomoe River notebook. Okay. You don't need Rhodia, Clairefontaine, a Mont Blanc. Okay. You don't need that. You can just go to your Walmart, get a little $1 notebook and, a little Jinhao and get going. But you can still be a part of the community. And I think a lot of people, I have certainly been guilty of this in the past. And I think that's what inspires me to keep going, because I do not want anyone to feel the way that I have felt. I don't want anyone to feel like because they don't own the coolest name brand thing. It kind of reminds me of high school. Like, I'm a 90s kid, okay? In the 90s, it was not cool to go thrifting. Now it's cool. The kids are all about thrifting and finding good finds. But back then, no. Thrifting was like not it. It was not cool. Everyone wanted to get the clothes from the mall. You definitely didn't want to get clothes from Walmart. Okay? You definitely didn't want to get shoes from Payless. Do you guys remember Payless? That's like, they don't even have Payless anymore. But that just goes to show that I don't want anyone to feel like because they find budget alternatives that they are excluded. You can still be part of this beautiful fountain pen community, this journal community, this planner community, using your ballpoint pens, using your trash notebook, okay, quote unquote trash notebook. I love my Moleskines, the unicorn one, okay, the unicorn one. And I don't care. I still get ripped apart for using the Moleskine notebook, but I like what I like. And I think at this point I'm just repeating myself, but my channel was really inspired to show others that you can use whatever you want and still feel included. You can sit with us, okay? Do you guys get that reference from Mean Girls? Or was it Regina, where she's like, you can't sit with us? Again, it reminds me of like school. Like, it's very cliquey, you know, like, oh, the pilot enthusiasts sit here, the sailor pen enthusiasts sit here, real gold nibs sit here, Italian, you know, fountain pen people sit here. But that's not the fountain pen community. You guys are all like welcoming and helpful. I'm just giving an example. Sometimes it could feel that way. It could feel like, oh, because I don't own a traveler's notebook, I can't be part of the community. Oh, because I don't connect with Hobonichi or Toma River, I can't be, you know, I can't show myself on Instagram. And that's not the case. Everyone's welcome. You can use whatever you want. And that's another reason too why I show up showing options, because I don't want to influence anyone to think, oh, Michelle only uses moleskin, so it's got to be the best. No, it's not. I always preface, this is not, there are other options out there. This is just my preference. Just like Starbucks. I have friends and coworkers, they enjoy Starbucks. Yes, there is definitely better coffee out there, but hey, they like what they like. But I'm not influenced to drink Starbucks because of them. Because I am made aware through the community, through the internet, hey, there are other roasters out there. There are other flavors out there. And that is the whole point of me showing you these other options. You don't have to break the bank, rack up your credit card on a $200 fountain pen to still enjoy the convenience and the fun and the fluidity of using a fountain pen. Okay? And that's another reason why I stopped showing still shots on Instagram, because I felt like I was marketing for free. Like I was staging, and when I say staging, I really just mean like just showing what was on my desk. I feel like it was just free marketing. I'm really just marketing for free to these brands, you know, their product. And then people come across my feed and they think, oh, well, if Michelle likes this, it must be good. Maybe I just like it because like it was on sale. So I'm very mindful now of what I share with you guys, because I don't want you to get the wrong impression. I don't want this, you know, sitting on my desk and you guys think, oh my gosh, Michelle has a pilot vanishing point. It must be like the bee's knees. Like it must be fabulous. It's not. It's good, but it's not, you know, I prefer this, to be honest. I like this Hongdian. So I think you guys get the point. And again, the negative comments, there were only like maybe like three that I came across. So most of you, the majority, like 99% of the community is very welcoming, very understanding. A lot of you guys create content yourselves, so you get it, you understand. You are a part of the community in some way, whether you're creating content through your videos, through forums, through blogs, okay, through Instagram reels. Somehow you are creating and bringing awareness to this community. I'm just doing it here in video form, and I just happen to have a large following. It's not that, you know, I'm intentionally trying to persuade you and take advantage of my following. It's that just because I have a large following, I shouldn't like stuff from Walmart now. I shouldn't get stuff that's, you know, made in India or Vietnam. Like I should be only using Italian and French made stuff. No, I like what I like. Just like my handbags. My very first What's in My Handbag video, it was a Fossil Sydney satchel. I still have that. And that was at a time when like all the girlies were like, this is in my Louis Vuitton Neverfull. This is what's in my Michael Kors, or in my, I don't even know what, yeah, I think it was really like Louis Vuitton. And I'm like, hey guys, this is my Fossil handbag. Because yeah, you can still find great alternatives out there. You just have to be made aware of it. Let me tell you something, okay? I love, okay, I don't know if it's the algorithm. Again, ever since I just fell in love with these Jinhao 10s, my algorithm feed has been showing me like people coming out with these Jinhao videos, these Jinhao 10 videos, which I love. I'm here for it, right? We need to bring awareness. And I love that it has like instilled like some type of confidence in being open to discuss and to use these, because I have seen a few of your guys' comments on Instagram saying like, you know, thanks for introducing these Jinhaos. I love them. I'm glad you're talking about them. I've had them in my collection, and you know, now I can find other colors. And I've seen other, you know, videos here and there saying like, oh yeah, you know, I've had these Jinhaos. Like, these Jinhaos aren't new. Okay, they weren't invented like yesterday. They've been around, but not a lot of people were talking about it, because I think maybe they were not embarrassed, but maybe was there like a stigma, or maybe they were ashamed. Maybe they knew that they were going to get some type of backlash for these cheap, you know, fountain pens. I'm not sure, but a lot of these fountain pen enthusiasts, I'll say, there was not a lot of hype from their end. Maybe I'm just in the wrong corner. Maybe I'm in the wrong, you know, pocket. But the only discussion I've seen in my YouTube world were like from two people, two gentlemen. I think like Doodlebud was one of them. I really like his videos, Doodlebud, and the other gentleman, oh, I can't remember his name, but there was like one or two or maybe three people talking about it. Again, that's just what the algorithm spit out. There could have been others, but maybe they were just so small it didn't come to the top of the feed. But I shared this because I wanted to bring awareness to the community. Wow, you love the design mechanism of the Pilot? Give this Jinhao, you know, a try. It works and feels and writes the same in my experience from a newbie's perspective. So I think that's all I have to rant about. I'm really just here to show and share and tell. Show and share and tell. If you haven't noticed, I am never talking about click below for my promo link, or click my affiliate link, or today's video sponsored by so-and-so. That's all intentional, because if I was really out here pushing on consumerism and things that you guys don't need, trust me, I really could. Throughout the years I've been on this platform, you don't think I get these emails from all these brands that you see other people pushing? Yes, you know, I have been marketed desks and pens and inks and handbags and food services and eyeglasses and everything that you've seen other people promote. It has come my way. Free notebooks, okay? The thing is, if I don't love it, I'm not going to promote it. Even if you're willing to pay me a couple of dollars, okay? $200, couple of dollars, couple pennies. It's not my style. It's not what I like. And even if I did like it, well, that's the thing. If I liked it, you guys would have heard about it. And everything that's on my channel are things that I like. So yeah, that's that. You wouldn't believe how many people have reached out asking to promote, you know, notebooks, but I'm sure you could imagine. You could imagine. I get asked, promote, you know, can you collaborate? We would love to send you one free notebook. Oh, wow. One free notebook? Is that like the value that you put on my wonderful community? Like one $20 retail value notebook when you really paid like maybe $5 for that? Like, is that worth it to my, like, to my time? Like, that, to me, that's an insult. Like, I'm only worth $5. My community is only worth $5. Like, my trust is not worth $5 to you guys. Like, it's not worth selling out for some, you know, like one-off promotion, two-off promotion. A lot of these companies that I receive emails and DMs from, I don't even entertain the thought, because they aren't my style at the moment. They aren't something that I would rave and talk about. I would hope that a lot of my regular viewers, you guys understand. You guys would understand. All right, so I think I'm just going to cut it there. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but really, this all in all to say that I'm here to share what you can use that's perhaps different, that perhaps offers a unique, style, a unique experience, a unique make or model. And where I'm based here in the United States, we don't have access to a lot of brick and mortar stores that sell fun stationery. Maybe in Europe and Asia, like they have that, but we don't here in the United States, at least the majority of the states here. In bigger cities, maybe, yeah, like New York, California, maybe Texas, but the rest of the states, it's very, very hard. Everyone is online. Everyone has a website, or everyone's just digital now. But you can't walk in their store and feel the heft of a pen or flip through the pages, especially if they have like a wrapper on it. You need to see like, okay, let me flip through it. Let me see what it looks like. So a lot of these videos that I do, it's also because we don't have access to it here. If you filter through my videos, a lot of my popular videos are products that we don't have access to in the store. I did a flip through of the Hobonichi when they first came out with their like daily codex. Okay, you can't flip through that in the store. We don't have a store that offers that. And before you spend the $50, you want to know what you're getting, right? Same with Moleskine. Moleskine's always wrapped up in some type of like paper film. So back, like 10, 8, 9 years ago, I would just do flip throughs of my Moleskine journal. So that way you got a sense of what you were expecting. Just like Midori Traveler's Notebook. We could not just walk into Target and be like, oh, I'm going to buy Midori. We don't have a lot of family owned small businesses that push or that share, stationery. We only have like Barnes and Noble, and even Barnes and Noble now is not Barnes and Noble even 5 years ago. They did not carry a lot of the great stuff that they have now. They did not have Rhodia. They did not have Clairefontaine. They did not have a lot of Pilot or Campus, or what else do they have now? Like Hobonichi. They did not have that. So my videos were to bring awareness of other brands and products that you could not easily access, but they were maybe, like a little higher up in the price point, and you wanted to see if it was worth your money. Because again, I produce these videos off of what I would want to see. All these videos that are my bigger like hit videos are because no one else has done them. No one else has shown a particular handbag. No one else has shown a particular notebook or a particular, product. So I did it. I did it to be of service to the people, to show them this is what it is. This is what you're going to get. So I think that's it. I'm done with my little rant. I'm done with spilling the tea here. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, I'm open for feedback, okay? Constructive feedback. If, maybe you agree and I have been going a little unhinged with the fountain pens, I'm all ears. I'm all eyes to see what I could maybe refine, what I could work on. Maybe instead of doing back-to-back videos, I could just put them in one video a month or something. Because I understand I do get carried away. My excitement, okay, when I get something, I just gotta like show you, because that's what I would do with a friend. I would call up a friend and be like, oh my gosh, guess what? This is what I have. This is what I got. This was on sale. So I can't contain my excitement because this is my true passion. And, I see you guys all like as my friends that share the same passion. But I get it. Maybe to some people, it may be a little too much. So I'd love to know your thoughts or maybe your experience with these. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.